Way you go, Mark.
Okay, I would like to call the Clerk Haley. I'd like to call the Board of Public Works to order. And could we take roll call, please?
What number? I give my name?
Forgot to turn her on, sorry. So the mic's back on now.
Alderman Sevenick,
Here.
Alderman Langdon,
What's it called?
Here.
Alderman Schmidt, Alderman Schmidt,
Strong neighborhood.
Here.
Alderman Tom Grady,
Here.
Alderman Ted Grady,
Here.
Alderman Rapella,
Here.
Alderman Nichols,
Here.
Alderman Taylor.
Here.
We're all here?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to move down to item C, minutes to approve. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from May 18th, 2020?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Alderman Taylor
I'll
has
second.
a motion to motion the minutes, and a second by Alderman Sevenick. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. No?
Aye.
Okay. Minutes are approved. All right, tonight we have two discussion/action items. The first one is a payment to Vinton Construction Company, contract unit number 2020-02 for the Jefferson Park parking lot basketball court and regrading for $47,099.20. Payment number 2. So, Director Corey, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Excuse me. This is a progress payment, continuing with this project. Pretty much everything is within plan quantity. And again, just a progress payment. Should be looking possibly for pavement next week or the week after for this.
All right. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes. Alderman Taylor?
I'll make the motion for the payment to
Okay.
Vinton Construction Company as read by the chairman.
Thank you. So we have the motion by Alderman Taylor. Do I have a second?
Ted, did you want to make a second?
Sure. Second. And I also have a question.
Oh, I was
Okay,
on
so I have
mute.
a, yep, I got it. I have a motion by Alderman Taylor and a second by Ted Grady to move this to council. Any discussion? Alderman Ted Grady.
Thank you, Chair Langdon. My question was concerning the basketball court. Did we ever look at the setback there from the road to the houses, and are we in ordinance and everything's okay?
Director,
This is
Corey?
Corey. To my knowledge, I did not find anything indicating an ordinance pertaining to a setback and things of that nature for that basketball court.
So Director Tungate is not here?
I'm here.
I believe he's here. Brian, are you?
Brian, Director Tungate, are you here?
I am here.
Okay, all right, cool. Director Tungate called me the next day because I brought up Alderman Taylor, was concerned with the, how many feet, and I also said we need to, how many feet was it originally? So, Director Bryan, are we in compliance with the how many feet it's supposed to be from, let's say, public property to the court?
Well, my recollection of the conversation that we had, and I think I was quoted as saying it was 100 feet to the house, not to the street. So it is at least 100 feet to the home from the court.
Okay. Alderman Ted, any further?
Well, could be 100, could be 200, 300. Are we in ordinance? Are we okay? That's my question.
Sounds like it.
Brian, I don't believe there's an ordinance relating to where a basketball court can be in relation to the neighboring property in a park. And I do believe this is where it was shown in the Jefferson Park master plan that was approved by the council and designed by the neighborhood. Is that true?
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay. So I have a motion by Alderman Taylor and a second by Alderman Ted Grady. Are there any further discussion?
Alderman Sevenick also has his hand up.
Alderman Sevenick.
Thank you, Chair. I know we're talking right now about the basketball courts, but of course this all pertains to that parking lot. And I would like either Corey, Adam, or Brian explain that the parking lot that we agreed upon is not the parking lot that we're getting. Pertaining to, I had several meetings, I shouldn't say several, I had a couple meetings with staff and that we made changes over time, and those were approved by the park board, and then they came to the council and that was approved, but the old plan or designs were put in place, excluding 9 additional parking lots out there. I would like someone to address that and how that came about, because I'm not necessarily happy, because had that been that way, I would have probably fought differently because of the work that we did and the compromise that was worked out and bringing it forward again. Because you remember it got overbid the first time around, and then they had to come back a second time. So someone needs to address that for me. And Mayor, I'm not sure if you're even aware of that, if it was brought to your attention.
Mayor, if you'd like, I could try to answer that question.
Mayor, someone?
Brian, this is Mark's meeting, so.
Okay.
Yeah, Director Tengate said he would could answer that.
Well, I can just share with you that, yes, Alderman Sevenick and I did have a conversation about this. And I believe what occurred there was we came up with a plan A and a plan B for that parking lot. And originally, the original plan A had the parking lot configuration over by the pavilion had the 2 islands, and the pool parking lot was going to be designed a certain way. So when that came in at a higher than expected price, we went back and started to come up with a plan B. We were looking at ways of reducing the cost of that parking lot. So I believe what occurred when we actually went back to plan A, which was the double island parking lot that served the school district in a better fashion, that for some reason the pool parking lot, the 9 stalls that were originally shown on the north end of the pool parking lot did not make, that plan did not make its way into the bidded document. And basically what I shared with Alderman Severnick is I apologize for that happening. I'm not really sure exactly how it happened, but it did happen, and it was done inadvertently, and we were left with those 9 stalls not being there. Keep in mind, that pool parking lot is relatively temporary. Who knows when that parking lot may go away when we build a new pool. I guess that's out there a few years, but we were looking at a somewhat temporary parking lot there to get us by for a few years. So I guess those are my comments on that. I'm not trying to not own up to anything here. It was something that, yes, we did work out with Alderman Severnick. We were all in agreement, but fortunately that final design did not make its way into the bidded contract. So that's what I can offer you on that.
So why did it not? Because this is what we all agreed to. That's what I don't get.
So I did reach out to our consultant at the time there, and he is now, the person who was working on the project is now with another company. So there was some staff.
Yeah, I was going to say, because he was in the meetings.
Yeah, exactly. So he did move to another company, actually started his own company. So there was some transition, going on there. Did that not get, sent to us? I guess that's what we're trying to figure out. But again, it's a little difficult for him to sort of backtrack and figure that out because he, is with another company at this point.
Well, I just want to let the rest of the council know that I've been supportive of this because, when any of us have disagreements with things, and if we at least step forward and take our part and make it so that we feel it works for everyone. It was a work in progress with the Parks Department. The Park Board agreed. I got a little slack for it, but in the long run, I think it turned out to be a much nicer parking lot, and that's why I encouraged all my colleagues to support it, only to find out that all but one thing, trying to save the ginkgo tree out there, which we did, didn't get passed. So little hurt and a little disappointed. I'll leave it at that, and I would recommend that we approve, but I just want the rest of the council to know about it. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Alderman Severnick. Is there anybody else out there?
Mark, you've got lots of comments here. You've got Tom Grady.
Okay, Alderman Tom Grady.
Thank you, Chair. I also sat on that committee meetings with the parking lot, and I'm kind of looking at it as a happy mistake now because looking at that green space, I wish you would have taken that whole parking lot by the pool out. It now looks like a park finally. So I think it was just a happy turnout, and I can't wait till the rest of that parking lot goes away.
Thank you, Alderman.
Right,
Tom.
You also have Ted Grady.
Okay, Alderman Ted Grady.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe this is a question for Director Tungate. I'm on the Park and Rec Board, and we voted for a certain type of parking lot, and we kind of didn't get it, so not really happy about that. Is there any way that we can go back at them and get some money back based on, hey, you didn't give us the 9 stalls? Can we prorate any type of billing?
guess I might defer to our colleagues in Public Works. I'm not that familiar with how that would work, or if you could do that.
I would say at this point, I don't think that's necessarily an option. I believe all those bills have been paid. Brian, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe you took care of all of that stuff. I guess we can always go back and ask for some money. But typically when that stuff is submitted to us, you know, there's a set of plans submitted to us for review. And it would have been something that either we weren't aware of or that was missed as part of that. So I would think that would be a difficult thing to ask for.
Okay.
Anything else, Alderman Ted?
No.
You also have
Okay.
Alderman
Alderman Rapella?
Yeah, thank you, Mark. I guess, Corey, as long as you're listening yet, is there any way that the parking lot's not completed yet? Can't they go back and just correct the mistake?
Yeah, we can. We went and ran some numbers to do that, to accommodate those. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on how many stalls, but to extend that out, what would be needed, you're looking at just over $14,000. Potentially could go slightly higher depending on equipment mobilization type things and things of that nature, which I'm thinking right now would be pretty minimal, if anything, for that. But you'd be looking at roughly 14.5 for that, to add that in.
Okay, thank you. So this was a $14,500 mistake that was overlooked. Yeah, I guess it's just up to us if we can overlook that mistake. It's duly noted how it was the action that was committed, but can we live with having a smaller parking lot? Brian, is that parking lot filled with cars to the gill that those 9 spots would be missed?
Well, I am. I just want to go on record. I am sympathetic for what Alderman Severnick, the process that he went through. He did, I think, everything kind of, the right way. But I guess my personal feeling is, with that new lot over by the pavilion, and are we going to miss 9 stalls? I mean, I guess we can kind of, take a wait and see attitude. I mean, could we add some, some pavement to our own crews, do some of this work maybe, in the future? I think that would be possible, but we could kind of take a wait and see approach on it.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else out there, Mayor?
You have Alderman Taylor yet?
Alderman Taylor.
Thank you, Chairman. First of all, I want to say from the beginning, the largest tree in the city sits on the edge of that parking lot, and I do appreciate that we kept the largest tree in the city. Probably goes back to the Civil War, and also that we kept the 50-year-old ginkgo tree that I brought up early on in this project. So I'm glad to see those 2 trees survive. What I would like to do is probably go back. There had to be minutes of those meetings, and go back in the minutes and see if there's any if this company should be held liable for not following the recommendations of this committee. And I think the committee minutes should probably show that. Thank you.
Wasn't it funny?
Thank you, Alderman Taylor.
Mayor, Mr. Chairman.
Mayor? Yes, Alderman Severnick.
Thank you, Chair. I think some of us are getting a little mixed up. What happened was the wrong plan was submitted. It's not the company's fault. It's our fault, and it's I guess I'll live with it. I think every stall is important, because really, then why did we build it at all? Because they're sitting empty right now. They'll be sitting empty all through winter. I'm talking even the other area that we're doing. The point of the matter is, when the park is in full use, we need parking out there. And that anytime you go to a 4th of July event, all of First Street, all of Broad Street, all of Green Bay Road Street, all those are just jam-packed with cars. And so I'm just one of those people who realize how important parking is. And Tom and I agree on a lot of things. On this one, I don't. I think it's too much green space. I think it takes away from the pool and any larger activities that may go on at that park. And, and I did respect him helping out on this too. We also had some other ideas, in the future of what could be proposed out there, but sticking to the parking lot, this was our mistake, guys, and I'm okay to live with it. I just want you to be aware that I literally put hours and hours into this so that we would get a parking lot. I know Alderman Taylor wasn't happy with having this. I probably would have supported him if we would have taken out these other stalls. This may have not been built. So I'm ready to move on. I appreciate everyone's support and comments on this. And hopefully in the long run, we'll have a great parking lot out there. So hopefully it'll serve our citizens, but I think it could have served our citizens better when we bid it out. I think it would have came at the same bid. We wouldn't have to spend another $14,000. I think they were looking for a project to do early in the year, and we would have got it for the same price, including 9 additional stalls. So I'm ready to move forward, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, Mayor, no one out there? Okay.
Still has his hand up.
Who?
Alderman Taylor still has his hand up.
Alderman Taylor.
As I said early on, we could build a 10-story parking ramp. You're never going to get enough parking for the 4th of July, and you can't live on one day. The 4th of July is an anomaly that happens once a year, and we're never going to have enough parking for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Taylor. Anybody else out there?
Alderman Langdon, this is Corey.
Oh, go ahead, Corey.
I apologize. I just want to correct my statement as far as the $14,000. If we would have built what Alderman Sevenick is referring to, we would have had additional asphalt seal and pavement parking. That was part of the $14,000. That actually comes out to $3,700 and some change. So when you subtract that off, that would have been part of our parking lot cost anyways. So an additional $10,600 would be what it would take to get the parking lot to what is being referred to. So I just wanted to correct myself. I was slightly off with that number. I wanted to make sure that I was accurate with it.
Yes, thank you, Chair Corey. Is there anybody else out there?
I do not see anyone else at this point.
All right. So I have a motion by Alderman Taylor, second by Alderman Ted Grady. Clerk, can we take a roll call, please?
Alderman Sevenick? Alderman Sevenick?
I'm sorry, my phone was on mute. Sorry. Aye.
Alderman Langdon?
Aye.
Alderman Schmidt?
Aye.
Alderman Tom Grady?
Aye.
Alderman Ted Grady?
Aye.
Alderman Rapella?
Aye.
Alderman Nichols?
Aye.
Alderman Taylor?
Aye.
Motion carries 8-0.
Okay, moving on to number 2, I'm going to read it this way, from the Board of Public Works, from Adam Alex, Director of Public Works, and Corey Gordon, Deputy Director of Engineering. So, I'm gonna, give Corey this because it has to do with the road. Sorry, Adam. So
That's all right.
Plank Road, yeah, Plank Road, rapid flashing pedestrian crossing walk system. Director Corey.
What we are looking at here, in the budget, we had $15,000 budgeted for an overhead rapid flash pedestrian crossing at Melissa Street. Since we talked about that at the budget time, the DOT has approached us and indicated that Plank Road is on a schedule to have some pavement work done. I believe it's in 2025. At that point, there might be some consideration for some minor redesign at that intersection to accommodate pedestrian crossing. With that in mind, we also found out that some poles are being replaced on Plank Road at the Conomac intersection. With that, we have a couple flashing lights there indicating crossing. We kind of looked at it and felt that this might be a situation that we change some stuff up, potentially put in some rapid flashing lights similar to what is downtown at the mid-block crossing at the intersection. They would be solar power, roughly $8,000 for that system. Basically looking at that, I know there's been some additional conversation about other areas, so just kind of looking for some direction. Otherwise, I guess what we're recommending is putting the rapid flash pedestrian crossings at Conomac Street, which were originally designated for the Melissa Street intersection of Plank Road.
Thank you, Director Corey. So staff recommends the replacement of the Plank Road flashing yellow pedestrian crossing lights at Conomac Street with solar-powered, push-button activated, rapid flashing crosswalk system utilizing the 2020 funds original designated for Melissa Street. So is there any other hands out there that have questions for this, Director Corey?
Director Alex has his hand up.
Okay, Director Adam?
Yes, if I may just sort of expand a little bit more on what Corey said as far as other areas. Since we generated this memo, Chief Stika had reminded us that there was some discussion during the budget workshop as well to look at the crossing of Racine at 6th by the Boys and Girls Club. If we were to reuse some bases and 4-inch poles with this $15,000 that we do have budgeted, we could potentially set a similar system on Racine Street at 6th for that $15,000. Matter of fact, it comes to like $14,998. It's kind of almost like we planned it, but it isn't. But that's something to consider as well if we're going to make this purchase. That perhaps we purchase an additional rapid flashing beacon with the solar power and battery pack, and we could outfit both those intersections.
That's a awesome, good point. I know Alderman Taylor has one side of the street, and I have the other side of the street on 6th Street. So I like that. I really like that. So is there anybody else out there?
Mr. Chair.
Alderman Severnick.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I have my hand up.
So do I.
So do I.
Mayor?
So the people, well, there's several hands up.
Oh,
Do you want to
okay.
go with Alderman Sevenick? I'll just read them off after that then.
Okay,
However you
Thank
want to
you.
do
Alderman
it.
Sevenick.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, and just so you know, for a long time too, the place on Midway Road has been requesting this for a long time too, between the two elderly housing areas. But I love this idea, and I'll tell you why, because, and probably James wanted to say this, but we've had a lot of history over there at Conomac and Highway 114. And we used to have crossing guards there. And to this day, I still supported a crossing guard there. But to me, this will help. And then Adam's other recommendation, I fully support that. I mean, these are kids. I know they have a crossing guard there during school time, during the summer when the Boys and Girls Club is being used. I don't think there is one. So I would support that one if that's the motion that Alderman Taylor eventually wants to make, that we do both of these. So fully supported, and want to thank both Corey and Adam for doing this and being very proactive. Thank you.
So Alderman Taylor
Alderman Taylor.
Mayor, thank you, Chairman. Mayor, I don't know if that's appropriate to put the 6th Street in on this. Is it?
It's in committee. That would be up to the chair, if the chair would
Okay.
allow that,
Well,
or you
great.
can hold it for
All right.
another meeting if you felt more comfortable.
Oh, no, that's fine. I'll make the motion to approve Plank Road flashing pedestrian crosswalk system, and also to add it to 6th and Racine Street.
Okay, awesome. I have a motion by Alderman Taylor, second by Alderman Ted Grady. Okay, any other questions?
Alderman Rapella.
Could you repeat the motion? I didn't hear the motion. Sorry, guys. Sorry to interrupt, but I didn't hear the motion.
I didn't second it. I did not second the motion.
I did.
Oh, Tom did?
Tom
Okay.
Grady.
Okay, I thought Ted. Alderman Tom Grady then gets the second.
So did you want to reread the motion, Haley?
Yes, the motion was to install the flashing lights at Plank Road, pedestrian crossing on Conomac Street with solar-powered push-button activated rapid flashing crosswalk system. Additionally, 6th and Racine Street, one there as well.
Okay, that motion by Alderman Taylor, and that was a second by Alderman Tom Grady. Are there any other discussion?
So Alderman Rapella has his hand up.
Alderman Randy, go ahead.
Thank you, Mark. Just a question for Corey. So there's 3 intersections that actually need some type of help with the crosswalk: the Melissa, the Conomowoc, and the 6th Street. And we're going to do the 6th Street in Conomowoc and then wait for the Melissa one until 2025. Is that correct, Corey?
I think Adam wants to chime in.
Sure, go ahead, Adam.
What we were looking at is potentially doing something on at Melissa Street before 2025. Right now, the plan is for Plank Road to be redone in 2025. However, with everything that is going on, I know that there's been some, I guess, some question as far as uncertain financial future. I have reached out to the DOT, and at this point in time, we're still all planning on everything happening at that point in time. However, we may want to do something at Melissa Street sooner, just in case it does not happen by 2025. We just want to make sure that what we end up potentially putting there doesn't limit or impede our ability to or cost us more money or the DOT at that time of reconstructing Plank Road. So if you read the memo, we were looking at maybe bringing this back forward next year, given appropriate amount of time to make sure that what we put there is safe for bike and pedestrians crossing there.
I thank you very much. I'm fine with fixing up 6th Street and Conomowoc streets right now. That's a good idea. So thank you.
So Alderman
Thank
Ted,
you.
his hand up as well.
Alderman Ted Grady.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Adam, for corresponding on the Melissa Street, because that is a pretty busy area. I know over there with the trail and everything back there. So I just don't want that to be forgotten. So thanks.
So Alderman Severnick also has his hand up.
Alderman Stan.
Sorry, it must have bumped it or something. I'm sorry. I'm good.
Alderman
Okay.
Taylor
Oh,
also
sorry.
has his hand up.
Alderman
I
Taylor.
don't know how that happened.
Thank you, Mayor. Alderman Severnick mentioned Midway Road, and also I would like to mention for the future 7th and Appleton Road for any future thing. But Adam, when would this be installed? Plank Road and kind of.
Plank Road and Conomac, as soon as we get it in, the bases are already there. So it wouldn't take very long. I know early on in this COVID-19, they had some delays in getting materials, but she did not. Lead time is 3 weeks. So.
Okay. Thank you. So maybe by the 4th of July?
Potentially, yes, because again, it'll go up real quick.
Okay, thank you. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Alderman Taylor. Anybody else out there, Mayor?
It appears that everyone else is complete.
All right. So I have a motion by Alderman Taylor, second by Alderman Tom Grady. No more further review. So we are looking for finance. So I will take a roll call, clerk, please.
Alderman Langdon,
Aye.
Alderman Schmidt,
Aye.
Alderman Tom Grady,
Aye.
Alderman Ted Grady,
Aye.
Alderman Rapella,
Aye.
Alderman Nichols,
Aye.
Alderman Taylor,
Aye.
Alderman Severnick.
Aye.
Motion carried 8-0.
Thank you, clerk. So that's all we have. So with that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn by Alderman Taylor. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
The Grady.
Third.
Yeah. Okay, so, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes. Any noes? Nope, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night, all.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Yep, good night, everyone.